Hi, everyone. It's Carolyn Moor from the Modern Widows Club. Now, we are in August 2023, and we have a new topic called Rewriting Life in Longhand. Now, this falls under the emotional and mental kind of health pillar. And a while back, someone asked me to explain widowhood and a Modern Widows Club. And this was my answer. Being widowed is like having a chalkboard that you don't want. You see the chalkboard, the empty chalkboard before you, and you stare at it for a very long time. You don't want to pick up the chalk, but you get tired of doing nothing, tired of being nothing. So you pick up the chalk and you look at it for a while until something comes to mind to write on the board. You write something and then you erase it. You reject it immediately and you go back to looking at the chalkboard. You realize how silly this is after talking to yourself and find the courage to begin writing on the board again. Suddenly, you want to write everything, completely cover every square inch of the chalkboard. Overwhelmed, you step back and you realize what a relief it is to have gotten it all out. Then you begin to read what you wrote, but you honestly don't remember writing it. Then your attention is drawn to something on that board, a word, a phrase, a thought, a dream, something you really would like to attempt or accomplish. And your whole focus becomes that one thing because it fuels your soul and makes you feel some semblance of life again. It's the first step, which is so important because it leads you to many other catalyst moments. And before you know it, you are moving forward in a direction you never could have imagined. It takes on a life of its own. Hopefully, Modern Widows Club shows up along that path and propels and encourages you forward with a whole new level of confidence and hope and belief that you are headed into your own new version of a best life, a new me direction, even though you don't know what or where that is just yet. This was one of the most popular posts on our social media sites because it really tells the story of us and our widowhood journey in a new way that others might or might not understand. It's always wonderful to find people who really do understand it, though, isn't it? Rewriting our story in this stage of life will be like writing in longhand. Remember the cursive that we all learned and has kind of been forgotten by newer generations? It's the long road journey. Writing in longhand. It's a long road journey that we wished wasn't so, but there isn't a fast or a short way to tell our story now. And that's okay. Even if you erase something and you start all over on the chalkboard, it doesn't matter how many times it takes for you to decide what the next step will be. It's totally okay. This is a dance the way it is for all of us. You are not alone in your grief to growth dance that we're all familiar with here. You will feel less alone when you step into a community and feel so much more relief in knowing others get it. You are a storyteller now, and your story will be told to many different kinds of people while you are in the midst of writing it yourself. So keep going. I believe in you and the love and the beauty that comes from you. So that's my message for August. I would highly recommend journaling this month. It's a great time in summertime to put thoughts down on paper, even if it doesn't seem like they matter at the moment. I can tell you, I have gone back and looked in journals that I have written since I was 21 years old and see myself back then, the younger Carolyn, and the dreams and thoughts that she had, not much different than today, but completely different circumstances in my life. So transitions are always happening. So it's great to have that documented in journaling. Okay, so we have a legendary widow role model this month, and her name is Joyce Carol Oates. You might have heard of her, is a National Book Award-winning author of more than 60 novels and thousands of short stories. She spent over 5 decades as one of the craft's premier storytellers. Born in Lockport, New York in 1938, Joyce began writing at the age of 14. She was the first in her family to graduate from high school and furthered her education at Syracuse University, where she graduated in 1960 as valedictorian. Later, she received her master's from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She won the U.S. National Book Award for her novel in 1969, an honor for which she's been nominated multiple times. 5 of her works have been Pulitzer Prize finalists. Oates met Raymond Smith at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and they married in 1961. Smith became a professor of 18th century literature and later an editor and a publisher. Oates described their relationship as a marriage of like minds and a very collaborative and imaginative marriage. After 47 years of marriage, Smith died of complications from pneumonia on February 18th, 2008. His death affected her profoundly. And in 2011, Oates published A Widow's Story, a memoir, her attempt to understand life without her partnership that sustained her for nearly half a century. She said, "Though Ray has left me, it is not so easy for me to leave him." Wow. In her memoir, she talks about the extreme distress in the months following his death. And after 6 months of near suicidal grieving, she met Charles Gross, a professor at Princeton. And in early 2009, Oates and Gross got married. On April 13, 2019, Oates announced that Gross had died at the age of 83, a 2-time widow now. And in 2021, Joyce dedicated her novel, Breathe, to him. And like Oates, the lead character of Breathe, Michaela, is a successful writer and a teacher mourning the death of her husband, Gerard. Michaela's anguish is intense as she observes Gerard on his deathbed. Pleading in desperation, Joyce writes, in childish hope, unreason, begging her husband to please breathe. Please don't stop breathing. So as a writer, Joyce Carol Oates is uniquely positioned to tell the widow's story about the rage at the dying of the light of her own life, and the terror of emptiness upon a loved one's death. So I hope that you will look into her. She is quite fabulous. There was just an amazing New York Times article in their magazine, I think just last month. So she, amazing portrayal of our experience in widowhood. Okay, so I have an announcement to make. This book is now on Amazon. Our first Modern Widows Club book, Legendary Widows, Stories of Legacy, 12 Women's Stories. This is a love letter from Modern Widows Club. We are sharing 12 women's stories about their accomplishments. And, this is just a beautiful book honoring accomplishments in renowned widows who have had a profound and inspirational influence on millions around the world. It's a book presented by Modern Widows Club, where we envision and work toward a time in which every widow is valued as a human being and is seen as a vital part of their family, their work, and their community. Putting vision to action, Modern Widows Club provides compassionate support, and we are empowering widows to thrive as they move through grief to growth. So this beautiful book is on Amazon. Please go find it. Please get one yourself. I have been already told that many have been moved in reading this book. This is a 2-year project from the MWC Golden Committee and the MWC Book Club. This is the first of 7 books that we're writing. We're working on the stories of strength next, but please, 100% of the proceeds of the purchase of this book come back to Modern Widows Club, and so that we can continue doing the amazing work that we are. So also, have you registered yet for the Widow Empowerment event? It's September 22nd through the 24th. Okay, it's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri this year. Tickets are available. I'll put the link in this video. And then we have the holidays. It's National Back to School Month. Oh my gosh, everyone's like, no, summer can't be over yet. August 17th is National Nonprofit Day, so we'll be talking about that. August 30th, National Grief Awareness Day. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. But those are some of the happenings and holidays that are happening. I'm so grateful you're here. Get your book, come to an event. I would love to meet you. I'll be signing that book actually at the event. So we'll have them bring your book to get it signed. But much love as you are rewriting your story in Longhand this month. So see you soon.